Our movie begins with Jessie, the beautiful girl carving her way into the glamorous world of models, fashion, and luxury living. We first see her in a photo shoot where it looks as if someone has finished her off, with her lying drowned in red, but it's actually her boyfriend Dean behind the camera taking the shots. Jessie then heads to the dressing room to wipe off the red, which, dear YouTube, is absolutely not blood. It's just plain red paint, nothing more. With her is Roberta, the makeup artist, who quickly learns that Jessie is new in the business and dreams of becoming a famous, wealthy model one day, since she comes from a poor neighborhood and despises being broke, wishing instead for endless money. But the look in Roberta's eyes isn't exactly reassuring, dear viewer. She invites Jessie to join her at a party attended by top models, and there Jessie meets some very professional, high-class models. From this point on, strange things begin to unfold. These models talk about how beauty can be stolen from beauty itself, meaning that if there's a girl who's incredibly beautiful, then by drinking her blood and consuming her organs, they can absorb her beauty and become as stunning as she is. Jessie is baffled by what she's hearing. The makeup artist even tells her, "Come here, let me put this lipstick on you. It's from that famous model we took care of earlier. But you know, if you ever tell anyone, we'll turn you into crispy fries." After they leave, Jessie stands in front of the mirror and says to herself, "What kind of mess have I gotten into?" The next morning, she gets up and prepares for her very first job interview in this bizarre industry. The HR lady asks her, "Was it your boyfriend who took these photos of you?" Jessie quickly answers, "No, he's not my boyfriend. I don't even know that guy at all." HR then tells her, "You're beautiful, flawless, and absolutely perfect. You're going to be a great model, but our professional photographer needs to approve you first. It's up to you now. Get to know him and try to win him over by showing your femininity and charm. And if he sees your talent the same way I do, then you'll know what it means to forget poverty forever." Jessie goes back home, thinking hard about how to convince the professional photographer to approve her. What should she do to reach her dream? The first thing she does is talk to her boyfriend, the broke guy who somehow owns a Lamborghini. They drive together to the California hills, and there she tells him, "Baby, I can't stay in this relationship anymore. You're poor, and I'm about to become a famous model. Everyone told me I'm beautiful and that I can make real money out of this beauty." Her boyfriend asks, "So what are you willing to give up, baby?" And she answers coldly, "I'm giving you up." She then gets out of the car, leaving behind the poor guy heartbroken, just another struggling photographer trying to survive in California. Once she's back in her apartment, Jessie suddenly feels terrified by something in her room. She rushes to the building guard and begs for help. And guess what? The guard is none other than Keanu Reeves. He goes up with her to check things out, and to their shock, there's a tiger standing right on her bed. A bad omen, dear viewer, a very dark sign. From there, Jessie starts climbing the first real step toward fame. The makeup artist gives her a flawless, heavy glam look and takes her to meet her first photographer, the one who works under the top professional. This guy asks her, without hesitation, to take off her shoes, then puts her through a test shoot to check her fitness and potential. He studies her closely, frame to the left, frame to the right, while she's still in her dress, then dismisses all the other models from the room, saying, "We don't need anyone else today." He makes her continue slipping off her shoes so he can examine her further, and it turns out Jessie is more than qualified. She's absolutely stunning and accepted. Jessie was convinced she'd have to sacrifice something, but instead, the photographer covers her in gold paint and gives her the very first experimental fashion shoot of her career. After the session, the makeup artist is waiting for her and says, "You're lucky. If this photographer gave you a shoot, it means the top professional will definitely approve you." Still, Jessie knows she hasn't reached her dream yet. This is just the beginning. Her real dream is not just to be a model, but to become a famous actress one day. But of course, the makeup artist has a completely different plan. She goes to the two girls we saw earlier in the movie, who are clearly jealous of Jessie. They start talking among themselves, admitting that Jessie is incredibly beautiful. The makeup artist tells them that the assistant photographer, the one just below the top professional, gave Jessie a photo shoot the very first time he laid eyes on her, and that this girl is going to become a massive star. The one wearing yellow says, "Well, he's always taking my photos too." But the one in white cuts her off and says, "This won't last. We need to go through with our plan. We have to finish her off, drink her blood, and eat her to steal her beauty. We've done this before, and it made us even more gorgeous." The next day, during the auditions in front of the famous photographer, he outright rejects the jealous model and accepts Jessie instead, completely mesmerized by her. He calls her exceptional, one of a kind, unlike anyone else. The jealous girl storms out, swearing that she won't let Jessie off the hook and that this won't end well. She stands in front of a mirror, furious, and smashes it to pieces. Jessie hears the sound and comes back to check what happened. She walks in to comfort her and somehow manages to calm her down. The The jealous model then looks at her and says, "You're so beautiful, Jessie. Your beauty is God-given. I used to be the one who made every guy in the neighborhood lose his mind. The girl everyone thought was the prettiest around. But next to you, I look like a ghost. Here, take this." And suddenly, she scratches Jessie, then lifts her own hand to her mouth and starts drinking the red liquid. Yes, dear viewer, that's her blood. This proves she truly believes in the whole blood drinking for beauty thing. And so before I do the same to you and steal your beauty, hit that like button and let's get this video to 1,000 likes right now. And the secret word this time, so I know you made it this far, is good night. Anyway, Jessie starts to feel terrified for her own safety and begins keeping a close eye on the poor building guard. Yes, that's Keanu Reeves, dear viewer, who seems to be the lowest paid doorman in all of California. Of course, Jessie keeps an eye on him, making sure the doorman doesn't notice her injury and demands she pay the rent she still owes. The scratch on her hand really starts to hurt, and just then her boyfriend shows up at her door with flowers. She collapses to the ground, completely fainting. When she wakes up, she's relieved to see her boyfriend by her side and finally feels safe. Her boyfriend then goes downstairs to the doorman, yes, still Keanu Reeves, dear viewer, and tells him, "I know Jessie owes you rent and I'll cover her debt, but please let her stay here. She's helpless. She barely has food to eat. Here, take this money as a down payment and don't bother her again." Keanu, playing the ruthless landlord, replies, "If you're late with the rent again, I'll turn you both into crispy grilled chicken." The good-hearted, noble boyfriend, truly a man of morals and decency, takes care of Jessie's wound, and everything seems fine again. At work, Jessie runs into the friend of the jealous model, whose name, by the way, is Gigi. Gigi confronts her, asking, "So what exactly did you give up for the photographer to accept you and reject my friend?" Jessie calmly answers, "He just said I was beautiful, nothing more." Gigi then sneers and says, "Well, I didn't get to where I am today so easily. I've had endless surgeries. I had my ears pulled back, shaved my brows, plumped my lips, tucked my stomach, filled my cheeks, and drank green tea after every meal just to digest it all." Just then, the photographer's assistant shows up and tells Jessie, "Come with me. The photographer wants to see you." Of course, Gigi feels a wave of jealousy. When Jessie goes in, the photographer tells her, "You'll be the one presenting the final show." Jessie lights up with joy, realizing her dream is finally taking shape. She performs the show with elegance and grace, and all she has to do is simply be beautiful. What a tough job, right? Dear viewer, the show is a complete success. Jessie dazzles everyone, and afterward, her boyfriend is waiting for her. She takes him along to meet the professional photographer, introducing him as my boyfriend. He's a skilled photographer. You might like his work. While they're sitting there, the professional photographer turns to Gigi and says, "That girl Jessie is pure perfection, completely natural, flawless. But you're manufactured, and it shows all over you." The professional photographer calls out to Dean, Jessie's boyfriend, and asks him, "Dean, tell me, what do you think of Gigi?" Dean glances at her and replies, "I mean, she's okay, not bad." The photographer then says, "That's exactly what I mean. You're just okay, average at best. But Jessie is divine beauty, something magical, strange, captivating. You look at her, and you're enchanted. You want to chase her. She snares you with just the blink of her lashes." Hearing this makes Dean burn with jealousy, so he gets up and walks away. Jessie, however, stays, refusing to leave with her boyfriend because she's afraid of losing her chance in this world. To her, the photographer didn't insult her at all. If anything, he defended her against the jealous models. Later, when she returns home, she finds her boyfriend waiting downstairs. She tells him coldly, "Baby, from today on, you go your way, and I'll go mine. I told you you're poor, that you'll never have money. But you didn't believe me." The doorman, yes, still Keanu Reeves, what an honor for him to appear in this humble film, suddenly shows up and forces something into Jessie's mouth. She wakes up the next morning, only to realize it was just a dream. But then she hears a strange sound outside, panics, and locks her door in fear. Soon after, she visits the makeup artist, her so-called friend. The makeup artist welcomes her warmly, saying, "Come in, sweetheart. This is your home." After Jessie takes a long, refreshing shower, her friend chats with her, telling her she can stay as long as she wants. But the look in the makeup artist's eyes is anything but comforting. She combs Jessie's hair gently, talking sweet words, but it's all a facade. In reality, she's preparing to either bite her or drink from her to steal her beauty. Jessie pushes her away and shouts, "Get away from me, you wicked woman!" The makeup artist then scribbles a terrifying face across the mirror and leaves. Jessie, now alone, stands in front of the mirror, doing her own heavy makeup. She paints her face with bright colors, creating a dazzling look, layering glitter over blush, blending eyeshadow with eyeliner, then slipping into her glamorous dress and striking her powerful pose. She steps out of the house, ready to perform her final dance, a farewell parallel to the life of models' vanity and all those deceiving illusions. Jessie then sees the makeup artist waiting for her outside, standing by an empty swimming pool. A dangerous place, dear viewer. Jessie stares her down and declares, "I am exceptional. I am beautiful. I am better than them. I am beyond them. They're all fake, and I'm the only real one. They all just want to be copies of me, but I'm the one and only version of myself. I'm not going to do the final dance. I'm changing my mind." Jessie walks back inside, only to find the jealous girls waiting for her. They sneer. "So, are we dancing or what?" A full-on chase scene begins. Pure catfight chaos, dear viewer, and it ends with them cornering her by the empty swimming pool. The makeup artist shoves her off the edge, and that's it. Jessie's life comes to a tragic end, fading into nothingness. Now, focus with me here, dear viewer, because I had to blur what comes next. You really can't see this on YouTube. The girls, who believe in devouring beauty to steal it, drag Jessie inside while she's still alive. The makeup artist is seen bathing in a tub full of red liquid. You know exactly what I mean. The other two are also washing themselves in the same way. And not just that, they're literally consuming Jessie's remains. For them, beauty creates beauty, and this is their twisted ritual to achieve it. Days pass, and the jealous girls actually look stunning now, glowing with confidence. Makeup artists surround them, serving them, pampering them. One of them, the most envious of all, looks at another beautiful young model and mutters, "Beauty creates beauty." Soon after, Gigi and her jealous friend head out for a glamorous seaside photo shoot by the pool. But suddenly, Gigi's stomach starts to hurt badly. The photographer calls out, "Look at the camera, Gigi! Eyes here!" But she can't. Her pain is unbearable. She abandons the set, rushing straight to the bathroom. When her friend follows, she finds Gigi vomiting, and what comes out is one of Jessie's eyes. Horrified, Gigi sobs, "I have to get her out of me." She grabs a pair of scissors and stabs herself under the chest, desperately trying to cut Jessie out. The jealous friend watches in awe, completely entranced by Jessie's remains spilling out. For her, it's like a golden ticket. Jessie's beauty, Jessie's essence, even Jessie's literal pieces are now up for grabs. Her obsession grows. She thinks, "With this, I'll be the most beautiful girl in the world, on this planet." And that, dear viewer, is the brutal finale.